standing in the bathroom looking into the mirror, and I can see I've got something stuck in my teeth. Looks like maybe some spinach, some kind of grit. This is my first night in France. I'm 18 years old. I'm an exchange student. My host family has picked me up at the airport just a few hours before. They fed me dinner. Now I'm in their home, in their bathroom. And I'm so tired, but I've got to brush my teeth before I go to bed. I mean, it feels like it's been hours since I brushed my teeth. So I reach into my toiletry bag and I pull out my dental floss. I like a nice long pull of floss. Rip it off, wrap it around the fingers. I place the floss, between the gum and the teeth, and I'm stripping away the plaque and the food particles. I'm done. I flick it into the wastebasket, brush my teeth, I go to bed. The next morning, there's a knock on the bedroom door. Bon matin, good morning. Bon matin, good morning. It's my host mother. She asks me how I've slept. She tells me what's for breakfast. And then she holds something up like this, and she says, "Qu'est-ce que c'est? What's this?" I reach for my glasses. I put them on, and I can see she's holding a piece of dental floss. Oh my God, it's my dental floss from last night. And my mind is racing. She must have found it. I must have left it on the sink. I hate when that happens, and it can happen very easily. The dental floss is wet, your hands are wet, it gets sticky. You think you flicked it into the wastebasket, and instead it ends up on the floor. And I'm thinking, oh God, what a way to start my visit to France. She knows exactly what this is. I'm busted. I might as well be home. But then this other idea occurs to me. Maybe she doesn't know what it is. Maybe they don't have dental floss in France. So this thought process takes about 1.5 seconds. I'm quaking under my sheets. And then these words just slip out of my mouth. Je ne sais pas. I don't know. I don't know what that thread is. She shrugs, and she takes the dental floss and she slips it into the front pocket of her apron. And she closes the door. And God, I'm so relieved. I'm just like, my head is back on the pillow. That's a close call. And downstairs, she's in the kitchen making my breakfast with my dirty dental floss in her apron. The rest of the day actually went quite well. And we're gathered for dinner, the whole family. And my host mother has made a really exquisite meal. And she doesn't just cook French food, she also cooks Vietnamese cuisine, because she and my host father are originally from Vietnam. And for dessert, she serves a tatopum apple tart. And I'm feeling good, like part of the family unit. My French is starting to kick in. And then she reaches into the pocket of her apron, and slowly she draws it out. It's my dirty dental floss. And I'm like, oh God, this is disgusting. And she looks at the family and she says, "Does anybody know what this is? I found it upstairs this morning." And my host father, he's a very serious man, an engineer. I don't think he smiled the whole time I was in France. And to be honest, he's a little bit of a nitpicker, a real perfectionist. He looks at my host mother and he says, "Pass the thread to me." So she passes the dental floss across the table, and he takes it like this. And he looks at all of us and he says, "It appears to be a filament of some kind." So my host brother, who's a little bit younger than me, he wants to see it, and he does the same thing. And then it comes to my host sister. Her name is Sylvie. She's about my age. And now she's holding the floss. And I think it's the first time I noticed she's actually got very beautiful hands. She's holding the floss in her beautiful hands. And then she looks at me and she says, Ames, do you know what this is? And now I'm feeling a real sense of panic. Oh yeah, of course. This thread, it must have fallen off of my shorts. And she looks at my shorts and she said, Je ne crois pas, Ames, I don't think so. This thread is way too long to have come off of those shorts. Then I look at the family and I say, Je ne sais pas. I don't know. Je n'ai aucune idée. In French, that means I have no idea. So my host mother, she takes the floss and she slips it back into the pocket of her apron. I go up to bed that night. I don't floss. When I'm back in my bedroom, I'm digging through my toiletry bag. I find the floss, I rip it out, and then I stick it into my backpack, like way down at the very bottom. That floss is not going to come out again. And actually, the rest of my stay with the family was really lovely. It was beautiful how they opened their home to me. It's the last night of my time with them. And my host sister, Sylvie, she does something that she's never done before. She invites me into her bedroom. So I'm in her bedroom, and she says, Ames, I've made something for you. Sylvie had taken up knitting that summer. She said it was for le stress, or the stress, anxiety as a way of relieving the nervousness. And she's knit a really beautiful sweater for me to take back with me to the United States. And I say, thank you. And she says, de rien, you're welcome. I'm working on a sweater for myself. Would you like to see it? Of course. She's working on a sweater. It's kind of an Irish fisherman's sweater, white wool. And she says, well, it's not finished yet, but when you come back, Ames, you'll be able to see me and I'll be wearing it. I think about that image and it appeals to me. And then she looks at me and she says, Ames, est-ce que tu te souviens? Do you remember? Do you remember that thread? And I'm like, what, the thread? And she said, yes, Ames, the thread. The thread that my mother found in the hallway upstairs outside the bathroom. Remember the thread? We passed it around the dinner table, the whole family. And I'm like, oh yeah, the thread. That's so weird. And she looks at me and she said, you're sure, Ames? You're sure you don't know what that thread was? And I look at her and I say, je ne sais pas. Je n'ai aucune idée. I have no idea. And then she looks at me and she says, Ames, quel dommage. What a shame. It's such a strong thread. And look carefully, look at the left sleeve of the sweater that I'm knitting for myself. She spreads the yarn apart. And I can see it very clearly, just under the shoulder, nestled in among the white yarn, like a dirty little snake. It's my dental floss. A lot of years have passed since that time. It's possible, though. I think it is still possible that she's still wearing my dental floss around the streets of Paris. I wouldn't know. I never went back. Thank you.